right. Well, switching gears here, meteorologist Jason Mikell is here. Jason, I have to admit, I don't know if that was a gecko. I'm not sure what kind. I don't want people to come after me if I misidentified the leopard gecko, according to our producer. I was halfway there.
I don't know what it is.
We're not animal people. You're a weather person. There's a difference.
Exactly. And if you're still up tonight, 11:58. We're not even going to talk about the rest of the night. We're going to focus on what's going to happen tomorrow because in about 3 hours, you're going to see our chief, Betsy Kling. She's going to be back for her return from vacation. So let's talk about quickly what the storm threats look like, at least for our Sunday. We're just like 1 minute away. We got storm threats that will likely pose some strong winds for the region. Some hail is going to be likely. Heavy rain is going to be moving through. This is really kind of painting the picture of where the most potent risk will be, south and west outside of the region. However, a couple weeks ago, if you were with us maybe a week and a half ago, we did have a tornado outbreak across northeast Ohio, and we only had a marginal risk, which was a 1 out of 5. So we are heads up here, and we're going to be marching towards Sunday afternoon with a lot of eyes on the radar and what's going to be happening. We have a low of a very warm air moving into northeast Ohio, still 85 degrees at 10 or at least 11 p.m. there, back over towards St. Louis. Chicagoland still in the mid to upper 80s, 86 degrees down in Little Rock, and even low 80s right now in Oklahoma City. We still have this area of high pressure now pulling in these south winds, which is going to be elevating and also amplifying this warm front that will move into the region for early Sunday. It is likely around 9 a.m. Sunday, we're likely going to have temperatures widespread in the 70s. This is the system that we're watching here. The nucleus of this system is still back over towards Minnesota. We have severe thunderstorm watches already in effect, as well as severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for northern Illinois. This will likely pose a threat for western and even the western suburbs of Chicago once we near the midnight hour. That warm front moves in. We start to set the stage for mid to upper 80s tomorrow, perhaps even mid to low 80s along the lakeside. The energy we had earlier is beginning to wane out across the upstate New York area as well as the Keystone State, but we're still in the 60s widespread across the area, and we will likely hang out in the 60s once we get into the morning hours for us now on Sunday. Midnight, boom, you see that? Dew point temperatures also elevated, so a very warm night indeed. We make it through the first half of our Sunday pretty much okay. Not a whole lot of rainfall here, but notice at 6 p.m. what happens about 5-6 hours past that. Look at that, 11 p.m. Widespread rain has now moved in. The lowest numbers around 3/10 of an inch. The highest numbers well over an inch. That is over towards Elyria. This is just model forecast, okay? This is not where we're going to hang our hat on in terms of fine-tuned numbers. This is just sort of a progression. This is just sort of a consensus of what models are picking up on in terms of rainfall accumulations with this one cell. That'll carry us to about Monday afternoon. Here's our severe weather threats for us on Sunday. Damaging winds are going to be likely. Large hail is going to be probable. Tornadic risk is going to be probable, but also moving towards a likelihood here. Flooding, I think, is still going to be on the lowest end of the totem pole, but there's still going to be some ponding on some roadways, and perhaps even secondary roadways will likely be picking up some extra rainfall. We're still going to stick with the rain through the first half of the week, and then we start to turn the faucet on once we get into Thursday leading towards Friday. And I think for the final couple days of June, we're going to be A-OK with more sunshine moving back in. Planning out your Sunday, here's your National Design Mart forecast. Notice the temperatures rising, 80s expected even around the noon hour here. A couple pops in the forecast. This is all remnant because of that warm front that'll be moving in. But once we get the frontal boundary arriving, 8-9 p.m., we're still expecting some very damaging winds, lots of thunder, lots of lightning, very heavy rain moving with this. And we really have to kind of tune ourselves to if there's going to be any rotation with this. But it all kind of depends how this system holds up to the west of us once it entered our western areas, once we get past sunset for tomorrow. Here's your Union Home Morgan 7A outlook. Temperatures, again, very much so cooler than the average for the first half of the week, giving the showers and thunderstorms. Final 2 days, Thursday and Friday of June, look to be A-OK and perfect with a storm threat looming for the first day of July on Saturday.